When my daughter claimed I was ruining her image and barred me from her home, I became her landlord and doubled her rent. Where are you watching from today? Drop your location in the comments below and hit that like and subscribe button. I built my life on bleach, sweat, and calloused hands. I started a commercial cleaning business when I was 22, scrubbing toilets in office buildings at 3 a.m. so I could be home to make pancakes for my daughter, Chloe, by 7 a.m. I wasn't glamorous. I smelled like lemon cleaner and industrial sanitizer most days. My hands were rough. My clothes were practical, usually gray coveralls with my company logo Spotless Solutions stitched on the chest. But that business paid for Chloe's private school. It paid for her braces. It paid for the BMW she drove to college. I thought she respected the hustle. I was wrong. She just liked the check. Chloe is 25 now. She's an aspirational lifestyle influencer. I don't fully understand what that means, but it seems to involve taking photos of $12 lattes and pretending to be richer than she is. She rents a townhouse in a very exclusive gated community called The Vistas. She tells her followers she owns it. She tells them she comes from generational wealth. The lie didn't bother me until my birthday last year. Chloe was hosting a launch party for her new brand partnership at her townhouse. She told me the party started at 6 p.m. I was excited. I'd just come from a job site. We had a big contract with the city, and a pipe had burst, so I had been mopping water for 4 hours. I changed into a nice blouse and slacks, but I didn't have time to fully scrub the work off me. My hair was a bit frizzy. My nails were short and unpolished. I looked like what I was, a tired, hard-working mother. I arrived at the Vistas with a gift, a vintage pearl necklace my own mother had left me. It was the most valuable thing I owned. When I rang the bell, the door swung open. The house was full of beautiful, polished people holding champagne flutes. Chloe saw me. Her smile dropped instantly. She didn't hug me. She grabbed my arm and dragged me into the mudroom, shutting the door behind us. "Mom, what are you doing here?" she hissed. "It's my birthday," I said, confused. "You invited me. I brought you these." I held up the velvet box. "I invited you to come before the guests arrived," she snapped, looking me up and down with pure disgust. "Look at you. You look dusty. You smell like chemicals." "I came from work," I said, feeling my face heat up. "I wanted to see you." "Well, you can't be seen," she said. "My followers think my family is different, sophisticated. If they see you looking like the help, it ruins my image. You're ruining the aesthetic, Mom." She opened the side door that led to the alley where the trash cans were kept. "Please just go," she said. "We'll do lunch next week. Somewhere quiet. Just don't come back here while I have company. You don't fit the brand." She pushed me out, literally. She put her hand on my back and shoved me into the alley, then locked the door. I stood there next to the recycling bins, holding my mother's pearls. I could hear the music and laughter inside. I heard Chloe say to someone, "Oh, just a delivery woman, so annoying." I drove home in silence. I didn't cry. I was past crying. I felt a cold, hard clarity settling in my chest. I stopped paying her car insurance that night. I stopped sending the just because Venmo payments. Chloe didn't notice. She was too busy posting photos of her perfect life. 2 months later, I got an offer. A national facility management conglomerate wanted to buy Spotless Solutions. They wanted my contracts, my crew, and my reputation. The offer was staggering. 8 figures. I sold. I didn't tell Chloe. She never asked about my work anyway. To her, I was just the embarrassing woman who cleaned toilets. Now I was a retired multimillionaire with a lot of free time and a bruised heart. I started looking into real estate. I needed a project. I saw a listing for a portfolio of investment properties. It was a package deal. A distressed asset sale from a developer who had gone bankrupt. The portfolio was for the majority ownership of the Vistas. The developer owned 40 of the 50 townhouses in Chloe's neighborhood and leased them out. The other 10 were privately owned. Chloe's unit was one of the rentals. The landlord she dealt with was a guy named Rick. Rick was the developer's son. I dug a little deeper and found out Rick was giving Chloe a massive discount on rent in exchange for her promoting the neighborhood on her Instagram. She was paying peanuts to live in a palace. I bought the portfolio, I bought the debt, I bought the management rights. Technically, I bought the entire neighborhood association. The first thing I did was audit the leases. Rick, the landlord, was running the place into the ground. He was letting influencers live there cheap to make the place look cool, while neglecting maintenance for the paying tenants. I fired Rick immediately. I evicted the landlord from his position of power. He tried to argue, but when you own the banknote, you make the rules. Then, I turned my attention to Unit 14B. Chloe's house. Her lease was up for renewal in 3 weeks. I had my new property management team send out the standard notices. New ownership. Lease renewal subject to market rate adjustments. Strict enforcement of HOA guidelines regarding commercial use of residential properties. Chloe used her home as a photography studio. That was a commercial use. A week later, I got a text from Chloe. "Mom, you won't believe this. My landlord got fired and some corporate vulture bought the neighborhood. They want to double my rent. Can you lend me $4,000? I'm good for it." I looked at the text. I remembered the alley. I remembered the trash cans. I can't. I texted back. "Business is slow. I'm just a cleaner, remember? I don't fit the tax bracket." She left me on red. 2 days later, she requested a meeting with the owner to negotiate. She thought she could charm the new management like she charmed Rick. She wanted to offer exposure instead of cash. My property manager set the meeting for Tuesday at 10 a.m. at the clubhouse. I showed up early. I wasn't wearing my coveralls. I was wearing a tailored cream suit, Italian leather heels, and the vintage pearls she had refused to take. I had just come from a spa weekend. I looked like money. I sat in the big leather chair at the head of the conference table. Chloe walked in 5 minutes late, holding an iced coffee, wearing sunglasses indoors. She was talking on her phone. "Yeah, I'm just going to bulldoze this new owner. They need me. I'm the face of the Vistas." She hung up, pulled off her sunglasses, and looked at the person in the chair. Her jaw unhinged. "Mom?" "Hello, Chloe," I said calmly. What are you doing here?" She looked around nervously. "Did you get a job cleaning the clubhouse? You can't be in here during meetings. It's unprofessional. You're going to embarrass me again." "I don't clean the clubhouse, Chloe," I said. "I own it." She laughed, a shrill, nervous sound. "What? Stop joking. I'm waiting for the owner, the investment group." "I am the investment group," I said. I slid a folder across the mahogany table. "The LLC is in my name. I bought the development last month. I bought out Rick. I'm your landlord." She stared at the folder. She opened it. She saw the deed. She saw my signature. "But, you scrub toilets," she whispered. You're dusty." "I was dusty because I was building the fortune that subsidized your life," I said. "I sold the company, Chloe, for $12 million. Her eyes bugged out. "$12 million? Immediately her face changed. The disgust vanished. The image mask slipped. She put on her best smile, the one she used for selfies. "Mom, oh my God, that's amazing. Why didn't you tell me? We should celebrate. We should." "We aren't celebrating," I interrupted. "We're discussing your lease." I opened my file. "You are currently paying $1,800 a month for a unit that market values at $4,500. You are also running a commercial photography business out of the unit without a permit, which is a violation of the HOA bylaws, which I now control. You have unauthorized guests staying over, another violation." "But Rick said it was okay," she stammered, "because I bring clout." "Rick doesn't work for me anymore," I said, "and I don't care about clout. I care about character, and frankly, your character ruins the image of my neighborhood." She froze. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying I'm declining to renew your lease," I said. "You have 30 days to vacate. I have a paying tenant lined up, a pediatrician. She doesn't mind if her mother looks like a hard worker." "You can't do this," Chloe screamed, standing up. "I'm your daughter. I'll be homeless. I told everyone I own this place. You'll humiliate me." "You humiliated yourself," I said, standing up. "You threw me in an alley next to the garbage because I didn't look rich enough for you. You banned me from your home. Well, now it's my home, and you're banned." "Mom, please," she started crying. Real, ugly tears this time. Not the fake ones for the camera. "I'm sorry. I was stupid. I'll change. Please, just let me stay. I can't afford to move." "I suggest you get a job," I said, walking to the door. "I hear Spotless Solutions is hiring cleaners. It's hard work. You smell like chemicals and it's not glamorous, but it pays the rent." I walked out. She moved out at the end of the month. She tried to blast me on social media, claiming she was being targeted by a toxic family member. But she couldn't tell the whole story without admitting she lied about owning the house. She had to quietly disappear from the platform for a while. I heard she's working as a hostess at a restaurant downtown now. She lives in a studio apartment with 2 roommates. I kept one of the townhouses in the vistas for myself. It's the one right next to the clubhouse. I sit on my porch in the mornings, drinking coffee, wearing my old comfortable coveralls because I like the pockets. The neighbors wave. They know I own the place. They don't care what I wear. It turns out real respect isn't about the image. It's about who holds the deed.